Hey everyone, it's Josh from WA Production. Today I'm really excited to share with you our brand new plugin BeatQuake, which is an incredible plugin designed to take your beats from sounding lifeless and flat to full, thick, and heavy. BeatQuake uses psychoacoustic techniques as well as features designed to replicate traditional analog hardware to really get those more boom-bappy kind of beats, drums, 808s, that kind of stuff, really hitting hard, sounding full, or giving it a lo-fi style effect, but more modern and wide, if that's kind of what you're going for. But you can play around with it and see what works best for you. So first I'm going to jump in and play you a few before and after examples, and then I'll dive into the full functionalities of the plugin and do a detailed walkthrough of it. So let's get started. All right, so for each of those, you might have noticed that I had the auto gain compensation turned on. I didn't want you to just hear the volume increase from the compression and such, but I wanted to make sure that you could just hear the subtle differences between each one. As you could tell, depending on which preset I chose, some of them can sound more lo-fi, others can be a little bit more subtle, but really it just kind of depends on what sound you're going for. So now let's jump into the plugin itself, and I'll show you what everything does. So first off, we have the input and output controls, which are pretty self-explanatory. You can adjust the input gain and the output gain by dragging up and down here. And in the bottom, we have our A/B testing. So if you want to choose two different presets or create your own and then jump between them, you can do that. You can copy between them here as well. And then there's an undo and redo function. As I just clicked into, there is the preset browser, which comes with a bunch of awesome presets to start with, designed for different instruments, different kind of styles here, and separated into different folders. You can also add your own presets, delete presets, whatever you want to do. So it's a great place to start for sure to get the general idea for what you're looking for down, and then you can tweak as needed. Over here, as I already explained, is the auto gain compensation. And then we've got a built-in limiter and the bypass function, so you can see how it sounds with and without it. Down here, you can click and drag to resize the window. And then over here, you can turn on 8 times oversampling. Most of the time, that's not really necessary, but you can see if you prefer the sound with it on. It will take a lot more CPU power, though, if you turn it on. So jumping into the middle, we have the main section of the plugin where we have our tonal control knobs. So starting on the outside here, we have the tone knob. The tone knob adds a tonal character that's inspired by classic Pultec EQs, but modernized for beats in particular. And it also combines it with a multi-band exciter that is based on a famous analog sound. So to start, let's just add a little bit of that so you can hear how it sounds. I like how that sounded, actually. That was pretty cool. So now we jump into Enhance, which boosts the attack power of your beats and increases their dynamics and also delivers some increased low-end power. So let's hear how that one sounds. All right, now diving into the shape The shape knob essentially adds a combination of compressing effects to basically tame dynamic tracks. So this will kind of get everything sounding more even and fill up the body of the beat as well. So yeah, this track is already fairly compressed, so over the top kind of made it a little crazy, but it was nice with a bit more of a subtle effect. Coming into the lo-fi section, this one is really designed for modern beats. It does add a lo-fi effect, but it does it in a modern way with a wide sound so that you're not just kind of making it sound small and flat and narrow. So let's have a listen to that. Yeah, it adds that little bit of extra crunch that lo-fi is known for. So that sounds really cool. And of course, you can combine them however you like into multiple different combinations. Now we come down to the color selector. So these are the 4 unique psychoacoustic pre-filtering color modes. So I'll start with shock. Shock will boost the attack and strength of your beat while keeping the low end clean and aggressive. This will definitely make your beat sound more punchy. So let's try that. Definitely more punchy, that's for sure. Now let's go into the riff. This introduces a gritty textured low end by stretching the sustain and enhancing the rumble of your beat, but still retaining transient clarity. So let's hear how that sounds. Definitely grittier, that's for sure. Going into the tremor color mode, this adds low end power and stretches the sustain to really kind of make the beat super heavy. So let's try that one out. Awesome. And then finally we have the fault color mode, which is a multi-band effect, but it only affects frequencies above 60 hertz. So it adds clarity to the higher frequencies while boosting the low end, but not really overly affecting it with saturation or anything like that. Nice. Yeah, you can definitely tell how, unlike some of the other ones, the bass was just kind of louder, but didn't become super warbly when you really pushed it hard. So definitely can see where the fault color mode will be useful. All right, and then down here we have a low cut and high cut filter. Those are pretty self-explanatory. You can just filter your beat as you like. And then finally, we have the magnitude slider here, which is a little different than your typical dry wet knob. It is controlling the overall intensity of the effect from maximum power to subtle enhancement. So rather than a typical dry wet knob, which can have phasing issues, this is just fine tuning the impact of the effect on your sound without causing those potential issues. So lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have us create our own preset based on this beat that I've brought in, kind of just a basic beat here. Cool. So yeah, it's a nice little beat with, an 808, some drums, a little vocal effect there, but pretty ideal for this plugin, but it's a little lifeless, a little flat. So I think BeatQuake can really help to liven it up a bit. So we're starting with our initial preset here. I'm going to leave the magnitude at 100 for now so that we're fully hearing it. We can always dial that down later if we'd like. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on our auto gain compensation so that we're not killing our ears or making decisions just based on the loudness. And now I'm going to listen to the different color modes and see if we want to turn one of those on. I think for this track, I like the fault one. I think that sounded the cleanest and just kind of gives it a little bit more energy without overdoing it. So now I'm just going to dial in the amount. Okay, I think it sounds pretty good there. Now let's play around with the tonal control knobs and see what we like and dislike about those ones. I like it there. It kind of cleans it up a bit. I like the tonal character that gives. Basically where it was sitting right about there. I think for this beat, we don't need too much of the enhance, but a little bit was sounding nice. I think when you got up here, it was a little over the top with boosting the attack power in this case. So I think it sounded pretty good there. Similar with the shape, I think that it would be easy to overdo it with the compression here, so I think it was sounding good with a little bit of light compression. And I'm not sure we want to go lo-fi with this, but let's have a listen and see what we think. I actually liked that more than I thought I would. I liked what it did with the tops on the drums there. Just kind of gives it a little bit of crunchy feeling. So I think I'll leave it there. I definitely don't think we need to do low cut or high cut. I mean, if we wanted to do some creative effects, we could do some filtering. That sounds good as just a fun thing, but not for the whole beat. And then I just will play around with the magnitude and see where we want to leave it. I think that sounds pretty good there. So now let's just bypass so we can hear what we started with and how it's sounding now. Yeah, so the highs just sound a bit more crisp. Everything sounds a little bit more controlled to me and fuller. And it just sounds a bit more professionally mixed. And yeah, I'm liking this subtle but impactful effect that BeatQuake had on this beat. Of course, if you want to go harder and deeper, you can and really just explode your audio. But I don't think that's necessary for this more chill beat. So anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. BeatQuake is a lot of fun to play with, especially if you're making more hip-hop, drill, grime, or genres like that. But really, it can be used on any type of genre. Just play around with it. We've got the free demo available on our website. Go try that out and let us know what you come up with. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys next time.